Good morning. Welcome back to Market Monday. Thank you for joining me each week, and I hope that you find this information helpful. This particular slide is what's been happening the last 7 days in our local market. This helps us to keep track of how many houses are coming on the market and the availability and how we are comparing to the week before and sometimes even the year before. So as you can see here, in the last 7 days, we've had 57 sellers committing to putting their house on the market. These are coming soon. They'll be on the market in the next sometime in the next 21 days. We had 214 new listings last week. This number is up from 200 the week before, so super exciting. We need to continue to list more houses for the number of buyers that we have in the market right now. As you'll see, 280 houses though went off the market contingent, means they've accepted some type of offer, usually contingent on some type of financing, inspection, appraisal, contingencies. And we had 132 that went pending last week. Some of these are cash deals. We've been seeing a lot more cash only deals this year. And you'll see that in this 132 homes that went off the market, they're either cash or pending, ready to close. Contingencies have all been removed. So we sold and closed 272 houses last week. This number actually was down a smidge from the week before, which was 294. Towards the end of the month, we always get busier. So it's not surprising this number dropped a little bit from the week before because that included the end of the month totals. So the next slide that I like to talk about is how many houses we have available for our buyers in our region. This number did not change at all. 1,197 available homes with 88 coming soon homes. So we have almost just about 1,300 available homes. This number's up from the spring and summer when we were running around 700 or 800. But just to give you some perspective, a normal market, we would normally see around 4,000 houses. Two areas that I like to talk about, Oregon, because that's where I was born and raised, in Point Place, because that's where I'm currently living. We have 23 active, available, and coming soon homes in Oregon, 29 in Point Place. So less homes went, actually we had only 4 houses that came on the market last week in Point Place and 3 in Oregon that came on the market. 2 coming soons in Oregon, 3 coming soons in Point Place, 4 that went contingent or pending in Oregon, 10 that went contingent or pending in Point Place, and then 6 that sold and closed in Oregon and 5 that sold and closed in Point Place. So the winner this week is Point Place with 29 active and coming soon houses. So a few more than Oregon, which isn't unusual actually. And then I just want to go through real quick the September statistics. So we don't have October yet. I expect that they'll be in probably tomorrow, right after we do the video, of course. But I'll have them next week. So we sold and closed 1,145 homes in September, and we had 1,145 new listings in September. So we didn't make any headway on the seller market, like getting more listings to kind of take some of that stress off the buyers, but we also didn't lose any ground either. So that's okay. Our average sales price in September was up 2.7% to $191,218. And that's the average sales price in Upper Wood County and Lucas County. And then the average number of days on the market was down 22% to 55 days on the market. Real quick, I just want to talk a little bit about foreclosures. You've seen a lot of headlines lately about foreclosures. Unfortunately, the attention getting headlines isn't always what you will discover if you go on to read the entire article. So let's talk for a quick second about foreclosures. You are hearing a lot about the foreclosure startups are higher. It's up 49% over last year. It should be because last year we were in a pandemic and there was restrictions and the banks were not allowed to foreclose on people. So absolutely, August of 2021, we were up 49% over 2020. And so 8,341 startup foreclosures in August of 2021. But if we go back to a normal year, which the last normal August was in 2019, and if we compare this 8,348 to a normal year, normally in August, there's usually around 28,000 home foreclosures. So we're considerably lower, less than, we're under 25% of normal, even though we're up 49% from 2020. So this just helps to keep it in perspective. A lot of people I know are hoping to pick up some foreclosures at a discounted rate. I'm not sure that we're going to see the number that people are expecting, because if you look at this chart, you'll see that 44.1% of the people that went into some type of forbearance plan because of the pandemic have come out of it, paid in full, and have moved on and either sold their home, they've kept their home, but they're out of forbearance. We had 38.7 that percent of the people that actually worked out some kind of repayment plan. And so they're either, again, selling, because you can sell right now because we have a lot more equity in homes and you're able to get out from underneath these homes. So some of them are selling, some have done some loan deferrals, some of them have done loan modifications. So you'll see that what is left of this pie that are actually kind of still in trouble when it comes to forbearance plans is this 17.2% that's in red. And unfortunately, it is unfortunate for anyone that's in this particular situation, but we do only have about 15.7% of the people that entered into some type of forbearance plan that are still struggling and are in this red zone. So we're not expecting to see the number of foreclosures that we've had in the previous, let's just use the housing crash for an example, because a lot of people are very nervous because of the accelerated rising prices this year and fearful that we're going to go back into another housing crash. But things are very different. And this is one of the things that are very different. There's a lot of equity in homes and there are not that many. The number of foreclosures is not that high. So those last two slides show you why we're most likely not headed for a housing crisis again. So when you can also see on this slide, the number of mortgages in active forbearance is now under 2 million. So we're 1.71 million. Let's go back. If we go back to January, the beginning of the year, we were probably about 2.83. And then if you go back to May of 2020, you'll see that it was 4.76 million. So this number is considerably down, the number of people that are actively in an active forbearance. This slide also gives us some perspective, which is why I like to show it. The first 960,000 additional foreclosures that come into our market in the near future are actually going to make up for what we lost in 2020 and the first half of 2021. Because as you'll see on this slide, we were short 161,000 foreclosures in the year of 2020. And in the beginning of 2021, we were down 270,700 foreclosures. So numbers considerably lower than normal. So the first 960,000 foreclosures will only bring us to a normal average market. So we're not expecting, again, an abnormally high number of foreclosures, and we are not expecting a housing crash. So just to keep that in perspective. So we have started to see the housing market soften a smidge. The prices, some of the competitiveness of the market, we're still seeing some bidding wars. We only may have 3 or 4 or 5 offers now instead of 15 or 20. But there's definitely still high demand. Interest rates are still very, very low. It makes total sense to be a buyer in this market today. And then if you are a seller, it's a great time to be a seller. So kind of an unusual circumstance for it to be both. It's technically a seller's market because of the number of houses we have, but it's also a buyer's market at this point due to the low interest rates, because you can save $400 or $500 a month on your house payment on a $300,000 or $400,000 house just because of the interest rates. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions. Or if you have a full-time realtor who is keeping up on what's happening in the market, feel free to reach out to them. I just want to thank you again for joining me each week. I will see you back here next Monday. I have something, I think we're going to be making some changes to Market Monday. But for now, continue to watch us on Facebook, Brenda Kilburn, RE/MAX Preferred Associates, or on our YouTube channel. So have a wonderful week. I'm Brenda Kilburn from the Brenda Kilburn Group, and I will see you next week. Take care. God bless.